So we were just trying to figure out the dates we left. We had hoped to, can you come a little closer?
I'm right here.
We had hoped to tape on the cruise, but we didn't have a microphone. So anyway, we're going to try to catch up the best we can. We left Santa Barbara. That was nice flying out of Santa Barbara this time.
It really was.
And we did it through
Free internet.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Airport.
Oh, yeah, Santa Barbara had the new airport.
You didn't
That's
hear.
You gotta come
I'm right here.
Santa Barbara. That was really nice. That's the first time we'd flown out of that airport. Really, very nice.
Yes.
So we left November 1st. Flew out of Santa Barbara, flew to San Francisco. And that was pretty cool, flying out of San Francisco and flying over the Golden Gate Bridge and over the city. That was beautiful.
It was cool. Yeah, it was.
And we flew from there to Frankfurt. On the way there, it was about a 9-hour flight. Oh, the United flight, yeah. And we sat in the back of the plane, which was great to be near
the cans,
near the restrooms, but the audio didn't work on either of our seats. They had one movie thing. They didn't have an individual in the seats.
And it was an older plane.
Yeah, it's miserable. Miserable.
Yeah, it really. Yeah,
so, and of course, Dave slept. I didn't.
I didn't sleep that
night. I even took an Ambien and didn't sleep.
I didn't sleep that
Yeah,
night.
but I mean, that was pretty much how the trip was. I probably slept 5 hours in 2 weeks.
Right.
So we flew to Frankfurt. We had a couple hours there. Then we took the plane to Civitavecchia.
Well, Civitavecchia.
Civitavecchia.
I work with a guy today that's from not about 15 minutes outside of Sorrento.
Oh, wow.
Luigi Ottieri.
Did you talk to the Croatian guy?
Yeah, and I'll tell that story later.
Okay, so anyway.
He pronounced it in a way that we can't.
Okay, so, but it's actually we flew in, that's where the port is. I don't know. We flew into Rome's airport.
Mm-hmm.
We flew into Rome, and then we took a bus, which was about 40 minutes, which was beautiful. The drive.
I don't remember flying.
Oh, remember the drive? The drive.
Yeah, but I don't remember flying into the airport.
Yeah,
oh.
yeah. Well, I don't know what to tell you. So, and we drove to the dock. We got right on the boat. And
the dock was just was nothing.
Yeah. That was the problem, is that here we are in Rome, and we don't get to see any of Rome.
However.
And then we went and got something to eat, went to our mustard drill. And this is me kind of, we're thinking about, how can we get to bed? We're going to do for dinner. And that was that. That was
Tuesday.
And we slept. We actually slept good that night. So we got up. That was what was crazy about this trip. There was excursions every day. So we had to get up early, and most of our excursions we had to be downstairs in the Princess Theater.
At 8:10.
At 8:10. That was all of them.
Not 8 o'clock.
Morning.
Not 8:30. 8:10.
So
8:15.
So tell them. So here we are in Naples. So tell them tell us what our routine was for breakfast.
It was always the night before when the attendant cleans the room. They put stuff on the bed and chocolate bologna, and they always put these placards out where you can order breakfast in the room. And every day we'd order coffee, juice, fruit, yogurt, cereal, and I'd order
either a muesli or raisin bran.
And I'd get an egg in a muffin.
A little egg sandwich.
Yeah.
It was just easier to do it.
And you could tell the time that you wanted it.
Yeah.
And
we would get up usually at 6:30, try to have breakfast.
Trying to be awake.
Around 7. I would check my email. And I would get down there by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, at 8:10.
But that night was good because we actually slept good.
We did?
Mm-hmm. I remember. Our room was really nice. We were on the creep deck, which we had a really nice patio on this one. And it had both a indoor and an outdoor setting.
A big outdoor thing.
And we had great weather. So that here we are getting ready to go to Naples. Dave and I have this, we're hoping that we can continue.
As long as we can.
The only time we actually ever used the elevator was that first day
Only
with
'cause
our bags, and we were so tired.
Only because I had a piece of luggage. That's the only reason.
But you didn't on the last day. We were just tired. Yeah.
I didn't?
We didn't. No, we never used it any other day. So we kind of, that's how we take care
All
of the
the
food
time.
we eat.
And you hardly ever saw people on the stairs.
Oh, I know. And we race up and down them. I hope we can continue doing that.
Mm-hmm. How is it pronounced? It's
Naples.
not. No.
Yes.
No,
Well,
no,
that's
no,
how Americans. Go ahead.
We're getting ready to get on the
Mm-hmm.
bus to go see Sorrento
And
Pompeii.
Pompeii. Yeah. Our first view of Mount Vesuvius, which is still producing smoke. It is an active volcano.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually looked this up. So we were on the Naples is on the Mediterranean Sea. Sorrento was one of our favorite stops.
Mm-hmm.
It's a town that is famous for the tomatoes and their lemons.
And the lemon
So got some lemon drops, and we got to go to a little store. That was a cute little store with a limoncello.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up buying a bottle of plain limoncello,
And
as well as the lemon and cream, which is we actually left some of it on the ship because we
Not
didn't finish
much.
it all.
not
Yeah.
much. And what was neat about Sorrento was the God, the town was just awesome. The town was just awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The narrow streets and the 2 or 3 story buildings.
I'd
and,
go back there tomorrow.
You know, it was everything you would think it would be.
Yeah, it was impressive. However, I didn't have any gelato until we got to Venice at the airport,
The tail end of it.
which was
She had
a
an opportunity.
frickin'
Right?
nightmare
You had an
coming home.
opportunity right there. Gosh,
Wait,
I'll
no,
take
it was,
one of
what
everything.
time was it? 9 in the morning, and we had traveled.
Yeah,
No,
it wasn't.
but at least we got to see it.
Bowls and shelves of the good stuff, the Italian pasta.
Yeah, and we actually remember we saw one that were sombreros.
Oh God,
They were
there's
these
so
really
much-
big, yeah,
God,
in different colors. There was, because it was post Halloween, there was a black and orange
Yep. Oh,
pasta.
there was. And
yeah.
then you could buy the dried tomato.
Yeah, oh
and,
my
and
God, yeah,
spices.
the markets just,
God, it was
you just,
awesome.
we were like, oh my God, it's cool.
This
is a fun stop.
This is one of the things that'll be ingrained in my mind is when we were within the city itself. You know, there's a lot of markets, and we walked into this one market where there was an older gentleman. I don't know if he worked there or if he owned it or both,
It was
but it
so
was just
Italian.
it was so
And they
classic.
really talk like that.
You know, the deli was an Italian deli.
He was like a butcher, and he was cutting the meat.
And we asked him which local limoncello
And he said, that one.
Okay.
He was so cute.
It was cool.
We were like, oh, okay.
Okay.
We actually had lunch here. Yeah, that's where we ate. Yeah, I actually removed that other picture. But we had a caprese, and when they have caprese, they have
lots of mozzarella.
slab of mozzarella, the tomatoes, and you have balsamic and olive oil at the table, and you pour it on. Mm-hmm. And then we had a slice of pizza. Mm-hmm. I think we had soda that
pizza.
day.
Oh
yeah, we thought it was a piece of pizza. And then, and plus we waited to the last minute, so we had to eat real quick because we had to meet the tour group.
Because the guide told us that when you go there, he recommended the place that we went to because they tend to get it pretty quick.
Oh yeah, that's right. He had said, if you order a pizza anywhere else, it takes like 3 hours or something. But the pizza was good. We had a margarita. Oh yeah, in fact, they developed the margarita pizza. Mm-hmm. That pizza was good. The crust was very light. Remember? Mm. But my favorite was the caprese. Mm-hmm. Oh, that slab. They just put a slab mozzarella.
And at the tail end, you get a shot of.
Oh, that's right. It gives a shot of limoncello. That's right. I forgot about that.
And that's on the way back from Sorrento
heading to
Pompeii.
And here again, we were so lucky because the week before the weather had been very bad in Italy, so we dodged the whole trip.
Yeah.
Except for Athens was the only day that was kind of cloudy.
And on the way, on leaving Sorrento, that is Pompeii, that is out there in the distance.
Dave shot this one, and I thought it was so funny. We'd drive by and go, "Oh, there's Famous Beach." Okay.
Okay.
I don't see a beach, but there's Famous Beach. Oh, this was a fun stop. This is, it's probably...
No, that was...
Yeah, that's the Cameo. It's the Cameo shop in route to Pompeii. We stopped there. Dave, these are all sequential.
Oh, no, I'm just trying to... I can't remember where that shop
And this
was.
guy, he actually does the carving of the Cameo I bought. And he signed it on the back. And he's very fresh. I had been told that he would be a little fresh, so he gave me a hug, and I swear he grabbed my boobie. He was just... Oh, Signora! It's just a doll. So I bought a Cameo necklace that is done from the shells outside
the
Naples or whatever. Yes, exactly. He was so cute. So we get to Pompeii. And Pompeii erupted it's actually an active volcano. It's erupted a number of times. The last time was 1945 or 46, but the big eruption was
79 AD.
79 AD. And that's the outside walls. This is our first view of Pompeii. It was just huge. I think Dave and I, we thought we knew something, but you don't. And the mountain, Mount Vesuvius, really isn't very big.
I thought it looked pretty big.
For a mountain, no. Oh, well, I didn't think so. But anyway, they've been digging up Pompeii since the 18th century, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And we had no idea how huge it is.
As a site, as a city, as a ruins, as a historical.
And plus, the reason it's so well preserved is because of the volcano and the ash. Most of the people died of the gases. They didn't die from the volcano originally. So they died like 3 days later. But that's why everything you'll see is just,
Amazing.
so preserved. Yeah, so we found this is where we were told that the gladiators exercised. All these doors are where they.
Where they would stay, right?
Yeah, I think was that what it was? I don't remember, but it was cool because that was the time of and the gladiators were the real poor people, right? And they could they get their freedom if they won or
I think.
something. Yeah. Yeah, so this first street we went on, they had like a market. There was like this row of stores.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I think what amazed us more than anything is how advanced the Italians and the Greeks were.
Yeah.
I mean, in Pompeii, they had it was a civilized center that was surrounded by a wall. The sea was a lot closer at the time. It's receded since then. I mean, they had markets, they had homes, they had plumbing. It was just
amazing.
They had a water fountains. They had. I mean, it really is not that much different than what we see today. This was the theater, and he talked about, our tour guide talked about that they had a canvas or a cover
over the entire
back then that
site.
They would put over it so that people would be protected from the sun. They also, on the right side, they actually had it designed so that it had the best sound. I mean, this was amazing. So David went up to the top of the stairs and took a picture down, looking down. But look at that. I mean, this is 79 AD. It's, 2,000 years old. I could learn a lesson. Here I'm telling the puppy to go to his mama. And what was really cool about a lot of the sites we went to is they had we had little cassette players or whatever they were called.
Oh, that's right. So when the guide spoke.
Yeah. We had little ear mics, and he would talk into his set, and we would be able to hear wherever he was. That was very nice.
Yeah.
First time I've ever had that.
This is actually a crossing, a pedestrian crossing. The three stones there are positioned so that the wheels of the chariots can go between those stones. And throughout all of these streets in Pompeii, you could see ruts in the rocks of the street.
Compression.
Of
where the wheels had been for the chariots. That's cool.
Yeah, it was really. This is just one.
Yeah, just one street.
Oh,
and look at how long it goes.
Yeah, it was.
And we only saw a small section of it. I think that's what blew our mind. You hear of Pompeii, but it literally is a big city. This is actually a new faucet on there, but they tried to illustrate that they had public water fountains throughout. Can you imagine? Can kind of get an idea. Do you remember what that, what this,
No.
oh God, I remember
I
it's too
don't,
bad
to
we
be
didn't
honest.
tape that day. But this is a significant area. It was like the town center or something. I don't remember, but what was neat is that
Pompeii and
you're looking at
Vesuvius.
Mount Vesuvius in the background. This was really interesting with the public baths. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
It was this huge room. I mean, this is amazing. This is 2,000 years old.
And before I forget, I just remember that all of the stuff that we see on the outside, didn't they say the outside and the inside was painted?
Yes, you can see the different paintings in here. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, it wasn't just the plain marble. It was
Amazing. Look, I mean, that's 2,000 years ago. A little after Christ.
mm-hmm.
I really like this place. You don't see the full thing, but each window was supposed to be a east, or no, it's summer. Remember, there was a
I
window.
didn't hear.
East, west, north, south exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it? Oh, I don't remember. But there was a significance to each of those windows. And these statues surrounded the room.
They're all different.
Yeah, and then one of them, I don't remember which one, was supposed to be Hercules, because Pompeii was not the only city that was destroyed. It was Herculean.
Herculean. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we saw in the 19th century, I think it was, there was a guy who wanted to, most of these people were killed with ash and gases and so on. Well, he was afraid that if he dug down and pulled out
Mm-hmm.
the remains, that it would just fall apart, the ash. So what he did is he poured in resin or some sort of plaster resin or whatever it was, and he was able to, he really wanted to see,
replicate with the position of the people
Exactly.
were in when they passed.
right, yeah, and so this is, we saw these warehouses, and this was one that, you know, was different ones where they showed the people just, you know, in pain, and those were other things in the background of what they found in Pompeii.
The same thing, that body there in the back was one that they had found and had encased it in that
Right,
process.
but it's not the real bones. It's just a resin or whatever it is of what they found, trying to capture the expression, the positions. Do you remember? So then we had only one day at sea, and that was November 4th, which just happened to be
our 33rd anniversary.
our 33rd anniversary. Dave gave me a beautiful necklace, and I gave him the trip. And here we are getting ready to enjoy our day at sea. And we went to the art auction and just hung around.
Yeah. She does look good.
Yes, we were heading out to the jacuzzi and the indoor pool, which was heated. It was really nice. We went there several times. And you see the little blanket there, where the ship had a movie theater. And
an outdoor.
Yeah, an outdoor movie theater. It was nice.
And getting ready for the first big night.
I had this dress I had bought and I kept it covered.
She didn't show me.
I don't have a picture of you seeing it at the first. And it's the first time I used a curling iron and made these little curls in my hair.
She did it pretty darn good.
Yeah, I felt really pretty that night. So, and then what they did is they put happy anniversary balloons and a little thing on the door, and then they added one for Dave's birthday the next day. So on November 5th, we sailed, but I don't know why they call it that. That was really our longest journey. You can see on here, we went from Naples to Santorini. And it also happened to be Davey's birthday.
Yes. Can you email me that, Matt?
Certainly.
So, coming into Santorini in the morning, it was one of those really neat, breathtaking.
Yeah, and I was busy on the computer doing something.
I kept saying, honey,
I don't get out of bed,
honey,
so I have to.
Honey, you should come out here. Honey?
I remember they're talking about the 3 different colors of the soil. Remember they said they had a red soil?
Red, black.
Oh, yeah.
It meant something.
But it's just built on
iron oxide.
Yeah, mountainside. Santorini, Greece. And here's where we began to see what is just, these are classic pictures you see everywhere of the blue domes of the Greek Orthodox churches. Oh, that's where we learned about the churches, how each family
has their own
church. And that's so weird. And so there's like these tiny little buildings. They get
Very
land
small.
and they have these tiny little buildings that's considered their own church.
Mm-hmm. This is when we tendered from the...
Oh, that's right. Isn't that the only place we did tender?
Or did we? Yeah, we did tender.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah. Mm-hmm. We also did in Mykonos. Yeah, and here we stopped at a local winery, and we got some samples. Apparently, the Santorini wine is well known in the Greek islands.
Dry. It's a dry wine, mostly dry wine.
Yeah, but it had this beautiful views. And then I can't remember. Oh, where we also saw baklava.
Baklava?
No,
You didn't want
love
any?
baklava.
I love baklava.
No, I can't say I like it. Too sweet. Go figure. So the day before was our anniversary.
Oh, I got the ship in the background.
Yeah, and the necklace
That's what
that I'm wearing, David gave me for our 33rd wedding anniversary.
And she's number 8.
And for his birthday, his 59th birthday, he got the trip.
I'm not complaining.
As well as a, what do you call those? Fleece princess.
Oh, yes, that you wear.
That we bought on the ship when they have that, on the sea day when they have that discounted and everything. So it's Antarctica with some penguins on it because we were so cold. That's the main reason we bought it. I brought a lot of clothes, but I didn't bring too much cold weather wear. And here's Dave. I gave him his card. I remembered, but oh, the cards.
What cards?
I brought them home. What did I do with them? They're probably with the holy water that's missing.
Are they with
I don't know. We brought 2 bottles of holy water and can't find the stuff. Yeah, I brought home the cards.
Every trip we lose something.
Yeah. When I planned or thought about going to Greece, which I've been talking about for several years, it was the blue domes that I kept saying to you, I want to make sure. See, for some reason, I always thought they were on Mykonos. So I can remember how many trips they said, oh, they only go to Mykonos for a couple hours. But they're on Santorini, which is the southernmost point of the trip we went. And I think that's also on the Mediterranean Sea.
I'd have to look.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love this picture. And remember we learned that the 3 bells at the bottom, I don't know why that's just a problem with another software program. But the 3 bells at the bottom, look at their different sizes, had to do with
Did you hear that?
Father, Son, and Holy Ghost or something like that.
So what's the number 2?
I don't know. But I think that's what meant by the 3
like
here.
That picture?
I love this picture. Yeah, it's the one I have on my phone. Or on my desk, my iPad. Yeah, now you know why we did blue on the house. It was that blue, yeah. Everywhere, Dave took some wonderful pictures of doors and windows, so you'll see a lot of these.
And a lot of, I was going to say, a lot of times I'm walking, and you can attest to this, I'm walking, not stopping and really framing the picture, but I'm doing stuff as I'm really kind of in motion.
Yeah. And we were so lucky because we were the only cruise ship.
Yeah,
it was like the last one.
We were told that during the peak season that it's just Santorini and the towns.
Well, there's narrow streets,
overrun with people.
I mean, it's on a cliff, and there's all these narrow walkways that you go through. So we were thinking, oh my God, we were the only cruise ship. I
had a couple of people tell me that the pictures don't show people for the most part.
Yeah, we were really, because it's a very popular destination.
Yeah.
But we also were told, given the time of the season, it was the last ship that was going to be there.
Yeah.
And that the Greeks, what they do is they essentially shut down the Greek islands from November to March or something. And at the same time, Greece was going through, you want to explain that?
They're going through their crisis.
Yeah, financial crisis.
Along with Italy and then Portugal and Spain right behind them.
So, but we found out that, when they pretty much stop working for those 4 months, they get unemployment. Their health care is paid for, and so you can kind of see why they have a financial crisis.
And all of these, everybody's probably seen classic pictures, you know.
Yeah, and there's these little islands across the way, and yeah, it's just
beautiful, guys, beautiful.
I mean, the sea was gorgeous. It was calm. It was warm. It was.
Really,
We could not have asked for a better day, and
yeah.
no crowds. It was just. It was a dream day. What a way for you
It
to
was a
spend.
dream day.
What,
It was
what a
really.
way for you to spend your
'Cause of
birthday. Oh, I get to be with you. What a day. It really was my favorite. So in this picture, we were actually on a little terrace or something. You can see in the background the donkeys.
You can?
So yeah, see 'em right there. That's
Oh,
the
the top
picture
with the
you
red
shot. Yeah, they were
coming
taking
down.
donkeys down.
Excuse me?
Oh, look, there's a windmill. I don't think
Oh,
I ever
didn't see
even
that.
noticed that before in this picture. Oh my God, I don't think I ever noticed that.
Wow. Wow.
And then we saw all these little houses. I mean, must be some major
Yeah.
money in this town. But
I
you
wanna move
know, and no Home Depot, no Costco,
Son of a gun. Wow. No
no
Starbucks.
chains. Where do they get their groceries?
By ship.
God. So I think that's where we stopped. I thought, remember we stopped and we had coffee.
Hmm.
I had a cappuccino.
You can see how horribly crowded it is.
Yeah.
Awful.
We didn't have to pay for the bathroom.
And in between, in the city, streets are narrow.
Well, it's like they make use of every piece of land. It was just amazing how they built there.
Amazing. Yeah. So to get back down to the dock, you had three choices. You could take the cable car. You could take the
We'll
donkey.
see that in the next
You could
video.
go down with the donkey.
Well, no, let's save that one. Wait and save that joke. You could take donkeys down, you could walk, or you could take the cable car. We ended up walking, which of course, what did I do?
You
So
should
we've
have.
got all the way down.
Really almost to the
Well,
end.
we had gone for a nice hike, remember? We saw some of the private houses and stuff, and we're getting all the way almost near the end, and I went flying.
Yep. Yep.
Hurt my knee, so we went back to the boat and I iced my
Iced
knee.
it.
But that was accident number one. There's another one coming up, and both the two islands I wanted to go to. I left part of me there. Oh, here's where we had gone for a walk, and I said, "Oh, let me just sit for a minute." And you caught me trying to close my eyes.
Yeah, she tried to sleep.
There's that brown sweater that we lost on the
Yeah,
boat.
along with the cards.
Oh yeah,
The holy water.
gorgeous day there.
This
Oh, this was cool. Yeah.
is that the kitty cat?
Yeah, if you look close, you'll see the eyes at the top there in between the railing. This cat came out, and I went to go pet him, and he or she just crawled into this little gutter, and it just was like we had just had Halloween in the United States before we left, and this was just a cool picture.
Tell the story.
So we decide rather than take donkeys or take the cable car, we're going to walk down to, to get back where the tenders are. And we're walking, and the salesmen start asking about, do you want to go on the donkeys? So I start laughing. I said, Dave, you missed it. He said, do you want to go down on the donkey?
And I said...
We ended up laughing about this the whole trip. In addition, we laughed about, where did we see Whilst?
Whilst.
Where was that?
That was on the ship. He made an announcement.
Oh, yes.
The captain.
Whilst you're wearing this or that. And so we had this continual humor
dialogue
about, whilst we're hiking in Santorini, we may go down on the donkey. So I tried telling some people about it, but they
you know what we mean.
Yeah, you had to be there.
Okay. No, if you know what we mean.
But we're not, and we ended up buying a little stuffed donkey for Molly so she could go down on the donkey.
Get over here.
This is a cool picture because the moon is in the background.
And we were leaving from the bottom, walking way, 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 way down.
Or were we on the tender?
We were on the tender going back.
Oh, yeah, there it is. There's the flag in the top left.
Yeah.
So it's now Sunday, November 6th, and we are leaving from Santorini to, well, actually, maybe Rhodes is the furthest south. Yeah, I think
Yes,
it was.
it is.
Yeah, we went to Rhodes, Greece. You can see it in the top right up there. And that's along, was it the Aegean? It was the Aegean.
Oh, this doesn't show the seas. Oh,
It does, right there.
Yeah.
The Aegean. Yeah, there was the Tyrrhenian and Ionian or something, so... We're sitting here that we did so much on this trip, and of course we should have. That's why we should tape that day. We remember being there, but we cannot tell you what it's about.
That is a significant site.
And there was a way of the cross that we walked to. Remember, we got to
which...
see. Yeah, I couldn't tell you what it is. It probably had something to do with Jesus or Mary
or Joseph.
One of them. I'll tell you. There was so much every day. Hard to remember. I think what got me more too was the Mediterranean climate is so similar to Santa Barbara. The vegetation we saw, bougainvillea,
oleander,
grapes, it was like being
citrus.
The red clay roofs. It was like being in Santa Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. Oh yeah, amazing. Yes, smell. You done?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Remember they said a necropolis is not just significant to Athens.
To one place.
It has to. Acropolis means tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the. There's the ship in the background, right there. So,
oh yeah. It's very significant.
This was a cute little town center. We were actually going to eat at that yellow building, but we ended up,
They're all yellow.
well, the one across the way on the second floor, remember? We stopped there and then
I
we decided
remember.
not to, and we went down. Instead, we got some, what were the sandwiches? We found
They
like a
were-
bakery,
One was feta and bread.
spinach. It had feta and spinach and it wrapped in like a phyllo crust sandwich. And what was the other one? A mozzarella?
No, one was feta and one was feta and spinach.
Oh, it was so good. And we brought that to right where that guy is standing in the far right is where we were sitting. And we had coffee. Oh, no,
We
we
had
had beer.
beer.
We had beer. With Mythos.
Great beer.
Mythos. Mythos.
Wonderful.
Beer. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That I do remember. Can't tell you about the history, but I do remember that. This is a museum we went into, and it was really
An
cool.
archaeological.
Yeah, right. It was nice because it was free that day.
And plus, it reminded me, if you've ever seen the movie Dracula with Bela Lugosi, where
Oh, really?
the inside of where he, it looks
Oh,
just like that
gorgeous.
inside.
It
Oh,
was
it's
cool. There
awesome.
was some
It
incredible.
was really neat.
So we're getting ready to
Hey,
leave.
we
We
talked
actually went
about-
out and came back in, and we found this whole stray cat community.
And who did they draft
Oh
for?
yeah, but I went over there. They were so cute.
Oh.
So we were heading out, and we said, "Oh,
Molly,
let's go back in and look around a bit more." So we saw this little restaurant where they had all these parrots.
And macaws
Yeah.
and
So I was
Gwen's trying to talk to him.
I play with animals everywhere we go.
Hey, you do.
I know, I love animals. So then we're heading back the ship, and we see this windmill. So we see several of these windmills, and that is kind of a tradition in the Greek islands that they have these buildings that kind of look like a arrow, and then they put canvas.
Yeah, they open up the canvas are wrapped around
each
those poles, and how they open them I don't know, but
But they used them for grinding wheat and stuff, not necessarily for power. Wow.
she's big. Not her, not the one.
Yeah,
who was-
thanks.
And then we're getting ready to leave port.
So we stopped down at the indoor pool and spa.
We always try to be on the ship when they left port, outside somewhere, because it really is neat. That's Molly.
Oh, November 7th, which was on Monday.
Yeah.
I have to check. We arrived in
Kusadasi.
Kusadasi, Turkey, and we had left Rhodes and sailed during the night, and along we were on the Aegean Sea, which we actually, I think we had been for a while.
Let's look up our geography.
Well, let me look what they said. Anything you want to add?
No. And this is on the way to
Cotton.
Ephesus.
Yeah, cotton.
Mm-hmm.
Turkey is Turkish towels.
Yeah, and he cited the guide cited some other.
Aren't they like third in the world?
Yeah,
for
I think
exporting of cotton. And our first on tour was our first place we got to go to the last home, and it was actually recognized by Pope John Paul of the Virgin Mary. And apparently, she is buried there.
That's where she died. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't think they found where she was buried. But this is where the Assumption occurred, and that was on August 25th or something. I don't know the year, but the Assumption is when Mary presumably rose to heaven. So we got to see this house, and we learned that when Jesus was dying, he asked John, which was one of the disciples and his best friend, to take care of his mother for him. And John brought her to Turkey, which at the time was a Greek island. Or, I think, well, it's changed hands. Anything? Yeah, this was the home. And it was just like 2 small rooms.
Very small brick building,
Yeah.
I think, and you could not photograph inside.
Right.
Lots of big crowds there.
Yeah. In a number of places, David, I would like candles in honor of our parents. And here I'm doing it here. I also bought some
Holy
2
water.
small bottles of holy water, but for the life of me, I guess we're not holy enough to bring it home.
Ah, it disintegrated. It ascended.
This was cool. People were making small little prayers and putting them on this wall.
Tissue, right?
It was anything.
And where we went, we're coming down the mountain into Ephesus.
Yeah, you can kind of see it in the background.
Just part of it.
Yeah, it was huge.
Best preserved of all ancient. Oh, am I talking?
Yes. He's reading from the
yes, about Ephesus.
the little Globetrotter books we bring with us.
It is the view of many experts that Ephesus is one of the best preserved of all the ancient classical cities, outshining even Pompeii for grandeur. Around the end of the 1st century BC, Ephesus had a population of almost 1/3 and it's one of the main ports along the Aegean Sea. Wow. I think it's the same thing happened with this, is that there were several cultures that were there, destroyed it, built, destroyed it, built, destroyed it. Amazing sight.
It's, as you walk there, it's hard to imagine this being fully developed, and the people of 2,000 years ago, 2,500 years ago, if not more,
Yeah.
walking along the same street, including the Virgin Mary and St. John the Evangelist. this was, they pointed, our tour guide pointed out to us that this is actually the symbol of Nike, this the god of speed
Is it?
or something. Yeah, remember he said it had to do with the Nike. You know how
The
Nike
design
has
of
that.
it?
Yeah, it's I don't remember who the Greek god is or goddess.
I know that's a cat.
They were everywhere.
Yeah, that's a cat. Kitty. Nothing needs to be said.
I remember them talking about these mosaic floors
Mm-hmm.
and
And
how
that
they're
was
still so
outside.
well preserved. Yes, it was on the way to the library, I think. So these were all storefronts, small homes, the same sort of like the Pompeii at these small communities. This was cool. There was like an L-shaped row.
Actually, it was more than that. It was an entire
Yeah, it was a public
room.
latrine.
Yeah.
This was, it's probably one of the first toilet seats.
Men and women used the same room. There was no
Right.
stigma.
Oh yeah, they talked about that. That there wasn't any differences in sexes, you know, where men
In
were
terms of-
separated from
no.
women until Christianity came.
And I guess he talked about how this was actually running. They had set this up so there was actually water running
Underneath.
underneath to remove the discharge
Yeah.
into an area that never ever conflicted with the fresh water.
Shows you how brilliant the Greeks were.
Yeah.
And this was profound. This is the library, and they have reassembled it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're doing, putting things back together as they're finding them. But the library was called the Celsus Library, and it was the third biggest library in the area, and it housed up to 12,000 scrolls. Apparently it had small little cubbies for each scroll.
Mm-hmm.
we learned about Greek sculpture in that they were so more advanced in doing sculpture than the Romans. The Greeks did their goddesses. We did learn that.
Mm-hmm.
The Romans did their emperors.
Mm-hmm. And the Romans had always recovered.
Yeah, and plus it was 12. There were 12. Well, maybe I'm wrong on that one. I don't remember that part, but anyway, yeah. And plus the Greeks were much more. You felt like you were looking at the real person.
Very, very.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. It's almost like she's alive. And the Roman ones were much more
disguised,
harsh,
kind of.
Yeah, but they were primarily of emperors, where the Greeks primarily did they only did the gods and goddesses.
But I don't remember the significance.
No,
of
I
the foot.
remember him saying this was outside of a person's house. They found this, and you can't see real close, but there's a 1 foot. Is that another footprint over there?
No, there's just the one foot.
Dave snuck in because there was such a large crowd around
this
it,
thing,
and he was able to get a quick picture of it.
This is the front.
Yeah,
and then
and he let John the evangelist talk to the people here. Yeah, that's right.
that was just the front.
And then was it Paul or somebody they didn't want to do what he said, and
Excuse me.
I remember the story. Sorry.
It was.
And this was the large theater or auditorium or whatever they call it.
How many?
Seats up to 25,000. Apparently they still use it.
Mm.
Amazing. Huge. Just to kind of give you an idea of how big that stadium was. Look at the background.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is the tomb. Apparently he's quite.
Which was not at Ephesus. This is away.
Yeah, this is St. John's Basilica or something. This is the church, and wasn't this the first church or something? Anyway, this is St. John the Evangelist. What did I say he wrote? He wrote Revelations.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently his tomb is here. I was just doing a little reading, and they said that Mark Antony came here with Cleopatra. Can you imagine?
Yeah. The pomp and circumstance.
Yeah. There'd been an earthquake. A lot of it was destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was at St. John's. This was actually designed as baptisms, for baptisms. So they would have water in the middle part, and then they used
Oil.
oil in the small one, right? And different
Was it olive
waters
oil? It
here.
was olive oil.
Yeah.
Right below St. John's was a mosque that evidently was one of the first ones.
Yeah, and they also talked about that the ocean was much
Oh,
further
yes,
up.
yes, yes.
That now we
Yes.
see a lot of land there, but the ocean was much
Much-
closer, and that it's receded quite a bit over the 2,000 years. And what will it be like in 2,000 more years? So depending on the port, they would have they call them pilots, and it's actually somebody who boards the
We never did. If one of them boards the big ship, and I think one of the others boards the pilot.
Is that how it works?
I think.
Huh, interesting. Okay, now we're en route to, next stop is Mykonos. Right?
Hmm.
Okay. So, November 8th, a Tuesday,
Hmm.
we had sailed from Kusadasi,
Turkey.
Turkey, over to Mykonos, still in the Aegean Sea. Mykonos and Santorini were the main islands I really wanted to see. Anything else?
Hmm. It was really, really windy.
Yeah, apparently Mykonos is, right? Isn't that what they...
Don't know, but we were supposed to arrive there, I think, originally at 1 in the morning, and evidently, even with this big honking ship, the wind was so bad that they couldn't.
Well, they were going to arrive at 1 to dock.
Hmm. But they couldn't dock because it was so windy, so they kept trying and trying and trying, and
Which
couldn't
was
do
left
it.
roof. I'm sorry.
Couldn't do it safely, so we tendered. But it was really how big were the winds?
Somebody said they were 25 knot or 25
Yeah,
to 50 knot or
it was,
something. It
yeah.
was some ridiculous. Yeah. But we were lucky that they said we could still go on the
For
tenders.
sure.
But it was rocky. Very rocky. Yeah, these were cool.
Evidently, there's a species of pelican that are native to Mykonos, and they're these giant pelicans. And we saw a couple that were just on the dock. as
No,
we
it's
were-
that one. Just
Just
the
the
one.
one?
Yeah. We were walking with the tour guide because
Mhm.
where the boat landed, or the tenders landed, we had to walk over to where the bus was, and Dave just happened to
Happened.
catch this. We didn't see any others,
Nope. I guess they're,
but they're so cute.
they're huge.
What we did see Mykonos that I think was characteristic was the walkways. There was this stone embedded in this sort of white. I
I
don't
don't
know what
even
it
know what
is.
it was.
And those
Beautiful island.
that lines all the streets in the town.
Just beautiful island.
Yeah, absolutely. And we stopped at this beach, and those the tour guide said, the two on the left side of this picture are known as the tits.
Obvious to me. They're not implants.
Yeah,
monastery.
we went to this monastery, and remember the three bells or the three crosses was Father, Son, and
Holy Ghost.
But it was Catholic, right? This one.
Oh, no, this
Monastery,
was Greek
yeah.
Orthodox.
Was it? Oh, okay. As we were leaving, she explained the old walls, like on the right side of the picture there,
It's supposed to indicate the property lines.
but the old walls versus the new walls or something like that. So we went back to town and we had a tour of these narrow streets. They're just so cute. And then we got to see the windmills. And the windmills in
Really
Mykonos, to me, were the unique thing, which you'll see more of. And the blue, the classic Mediterranean blue, and there again are those walkways. It was,
Beautiful.
yeah. I love how Dave got pictures of all the doors and windows. I think that's one of my favorite things. Is just, well, we have blue in our house,
And
so
the simplicity of it too. There's nothing.
yeah,
it's not ornate.
everything is white, didn't they? Don't they require it be, or there's a reason for it being white? I don't do you remember what it was.
To maintain the integrity of the architecture.
But they're allowed to have colors on their doors and windows.
But most people opt for blue, a few for red, but most for blue. Because it's traditional.
That was cool. I mean, that was. And then when we walked later, we found one of them. It's the second one from the right. Was actually a private residence. But they apparently have sails that they used in the
Canvas.
or canvas that they used on each of the.
That they unravel.
And it was used to grind wheat and flour. But they're just so cute. And on the opposite side is Little Venice, which you'll see in a second. And so there was Little Venice. And I don't think we, whoops,
Yep.
Dave's phone. I don't think we appreciated Venice, Little Venice in Mykonos until we actually saw Venice. But you can kind of see this little area right here. And here's another example of the walkways. Everywhere we went were these traditional walkways, and that there's such a difference between Mykonos and Santorini. I think what amazed me too is looking at these pictures. Well, there's an olive tree. Is everything's clean.
Yeah.
You don't see garbage cans. You don't see homeless. You don't see trash.
Plus,
It's well cared for.
Plus, there's the same thing here, like in Santorini. If we would have been there during the peak season, it would just be flooded with people. So we were told.
Yeah, we were
And
so
usually
because
we
they're
get-
small. They're small, narrow walkways.
So we actually were privileged and kind of lucky to be able to see these areas without a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it would have had a very different flavor.
Yeah, it would have. Every single island town, the animals find Gwen.
Those are my friends, not people. I love animals. And then this dog had no interest in me. It was a girl. But we have it on video. She had a thing for Dave, and she kept doing a Molly thing, putting her paw on you, and
Sorry, Molly.
she had a little crush on Dave.
So up on top of the hills were those, I don't know, what, 4 or 5 or 6 of the windmills. And I don't know what they were doing here, working on it, restoring it. Neat buildings.
This picture is great. This is actually the name of this restaurant was
Zorba's.
Zorba's. So Dave got this picture, and the guy right there, the large guy with the
Classic.
hat, he looked like Zorba the Green.
I was walking by again. This is cool.
That
This is
was,
way cool.
that's just too classic. And then we saw this lady. She's actually closing her gate. She has
Walking.
slippers on. She's got an apron on. And she's ended up, we followed her for a little bit. She was walking down those walkways. I don't know how they find their way around, but.
Bye-bye.
So the reason I'm in my swimsuit here is Dave was doing the wash. And one thing that we forgot to mention is that we ended up, oh gosh, yeah, we ended up getting takeaway food. We found a little like bakery sort of thing. We found the spinach.
Oh, no,
Was that here? Was that
no,
Saturday?
gosh, no.
Oh, here's where we stopped. No, we stopped. We stopped at a restaurant. This is where I fell.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't remember what we ate.
Oh, we had Greek salad.
Oh, and gyros.
Or gyros if you're from...
Yeah, and this one had the French fries separate. David had one in another island. I don't
Yeah.
remember where they actually put the French fries inside it.
Mhm.
So we stopped and ate. And we got to, when you go to a lot of these restaurants, you get to use their internet. And we were getting ready to leave. We had a Mitos, a beer, were getting ready to leave, and I was going to go in and go to the bathroom, and there was a small ridge on the door frame.
She tripped.
Of course, I went flying. Second fall, and my knee is still sore. But so that's why we're here, Dave. Dave, do you want to tell about the wash?
Oh, geez. So the wash. So this is again kind of the middle of the trip, and so it made sense to do the wash. But other people probably thought the same thing. So on each floor of the ship, there's one public laundry room. So I
oh, those ladies were nasty. They were like protective of their machine.
Washers, and there's not that many. There's 2 washers and 2 dryers per floor of this huge ship. So I went all the way down, almost 2 or 3 or 4 floors, and one's at one section, and the next floor is at the opposite end of the section. Went back up. I finally found one, and the change dispenser wouldn't work.
Oh, so, well, you didn't have change.
No, so
and then you have to deal with euros and dollars and.
Oh God! So I got back to the room and Gwen said, "Where have you been? Where have you been?"
No, because I wanted to get ice on my knee. And I wanted to get down to listen to the quartet.
I had to try to find a laundry.
But he did get the wash done, and it was quite lovely.
Yes,
and this is our night of leaving Mykonos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we sailed from Mykonos on Tuesday night and Wednesday morning on November 9th. We actually could see it's a very short distance.
We went really slow.
Yeah, and we went to Athens, and the name of the port is
Piraeus.
Piraeus.
If that's right.
But at the time, Athens has been going through. We had just about a week before, or 2 weeks before, Dave and I were. I sent him a USA Today or CNN report that Athens was having the mother of all
strikes.
Because what's going on in the world right now is a recession, and Athens, which we learned Greece was at the time going, through major crisis, and they had demonstrations. But when we got there, it was just as calm as could be. But we were, and a lot of stuff had been closed right before we came because of the strike. But we learned way before you finished. We learned that Athens, Greece, you can kind of understand why they have financial problems. The island's closed for 4 months. They pay the people unemployment. They pay their health insurance. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway. Right.
Well, you were going to say something about Athens.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Sorry. This was actually our first view of the Parthenon.
Oh, up at the top.
Which is actually, when you look at the top of the hill there, it's called the Acropolis. And we learned that everywhere we've been, they have a top of a hill, which is Greek for top of a table. And I don't remember what this one was on the far right.
It's significant.
And we stopped at the stadium before we went to the Parthenon.
60,000.
Yeah.
They still use it.
Was this the one that Elton John was supposed to be there or something? I don't remember. I don't remember.
This is we're starting to go up toward the Acropolis, and this is, I don't remember.
A view of Athens in the background.
Right, but in the forefront there, what that was, I don't remember.
Go ahead.
The white, so...
Oh, they're doing reconstruction.
Right, so what they're doing is with the reconstruction with these particular buildings, you'll see, one sees white marble, and one sees the kind of the sandstone colored marble and the off-colored marble. That's what happens with marble in time. It's just that with the replacement in the reconstruction is the the new marble where over time it does
Colors.
age.
But they also said that at the time everything had been painted,
Mm-hmm.
so we're not really seeing what it
What
actually
it
looked
really
like.
looked like. Cool.
And there it was. What we've seen before was kind of the walkway up, and this was probably the most difficult area to walk.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and thank God it hadn't been raining, because this was the only place we went that was cloudy.
Mm-hmm.
But here was our first view of the Parthenon. There it is. I talk later in one of the video clips that this side where we first came up, where they're doing a lot of work on, it rotated what was considered the entrance, depending on if it was the Turks or the Greeks.
Hmm.
But there it is. And you want to explain about the Parthenon? How,
I don't remember.
what we learned, which I never knew, why the Parthenon is important, is it's an acropolis, so it's built on the top of a mountain, and it was designed so that the mountain was not changed. It was built to accommodate the mountain. If you took, for example, if you took a bunch of toothpicks, and the Acropolis, if you straightened out the mountaintop, the Parthenon would actually would fan out. Remember? So she talked about how that it is level based on the curvature of the mountain, and that's why the Parthenon is considered so
Significant.
so special. Remember?
Kind of.
You really don't remember?
No, the toothpicks I don't remember that.
Well,
that analogy.
she talked about. Remember, she said
How it's structured.
how they did that at the time. You know.
So each one of those pillars would be a different length.
Right, and plus exactly, and because from an architectural point of view, it was such a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So if you level, generally you would level out the top of a mountain, then build. But here they accommodated
They accommodated
the curve of the mountain.
Got it.
Yeah, this is Athena's. This is on the left side of the Parthenon, Athena's temple, and all of the statues are of women, which Athena was the goddess for Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can see when they had the roof on, and you'll see when we go to the archaeological museum.
Yeah, of Olympia.
No, also in Athens. We went to two.
Sorry.
They had all these caricatures and story, and that's the one side of the Parthenon. Yeah, so we asked a gentleman to take this picture, but that's what's amazing. If we had been here in summer, it probably would have been overwhelmed, and it still was very crowded. Then we went to the National Archaeological Museum of Athens. This was a death mask that they did, and if you look at the right side, they show where the rope was tied to the face, but that's solid gold. So this museum was
Amazing.
yeah. This picture you commonly see in Greek brochures and so on. And this was, I think, between this and Hermes, this was probably my favorite.
Sorry.
I asked you to turn that off, Dave.
Sorry.
Please. This was Zeus, and Zeus is this is brass, right?
Mhm.
And they found it underwater.
Right. The brass, all the brass.
They found it underwater.
Yes. And little or no damage
But look at that. I mean, this is before Christ. This is about 1,000 years, 500 years before Christ. And what she did is she explained the uniqueness of this statue, why it's so famous. First of all, he's supposed to be holding a lightning bolt. And they're not sure if it was Zeus or Poseidon. So there's a lot of argument about that. But if you look at the right foot, she was able to...
Oh, to put a piece of paper.
She was able to put a piece of paper under the left foot because she said the whole statue, the whole weight of the statue is on the left foot. Remember that?
Very little on the...
Yeah, and then she said that in itself is unbelievable, considering the weight of the of the statue. That was beautiful. I mean, look at that. Look at the work. Look at the...
Mm-hmm.
So David is my Zeus.
This
is called Horse and Riding Boy. Same thing. This was found underwater, and the boy was separated. So they decided that he should have been on the horse. So I mean, this is considered one of the major. What we're showing you are some of the major pieces of when you think of Greek work.
Statues.
Right. Well, no. If you go to any of the Greek websites, these are the pictures you see.
You see.
This one, yeah, this is called Marathon Boy. This one's almost kind of eerie. Marathon Boy is also one that you see in a lot of different brochures. If I recall the story, Marathon Boy was a boy who had remember that? He had a mission. They made him run to tell them about some sort of battle or something.
Yeah.
And he was able to get his message, and then he just died.
So to honor him.
So that's where the word marathon came about. And it was 26 miles or something.
And there's a translation.
I mean, look at that. He is almost alive. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the story?
Yeah.
Remember who you're talking about?
I would.
Oh my God, I do. So on Thursday the 10th, we sailed from Athens to Olympia.
What the
and then on I'm sorry? Oh yeah, Katekalon. And then on Friday, we sailed from Katekalon
to
Corfu. And here we are in the Adriatic Sea. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
So both of these days are together.
Just pretty picture getting into...
So Katekalon is the name of the port, but what we were seeing here was Olympia. The foundation of One of my favorites. So we went to Olympia, and there it is. And that was the gymnasium, I believe.
Oh,
We had a
gosh.
beautiful day that day. And this is, remember, we learned that the all the islands, they would have every 4 years. They would sail, and they would have
Come
this
here.
kind of meeting in Olympia. It was like 400 years before Christ.
And didn't they stop the fighting?
Right. There was
A truce.
a truce that had to happen. You could not fight during the
These
2
games.
weeks, I think it was, of the games. And if you won, you were a hero in your community, and they would break down the walls that protected the town because they knew the hero would protect them. It was considered quite an honor. Is that your phone, Dan?
No, that's actually
Yes, it
yours.
is.
No.
You know, we're trying to do this taping. Anyway, so Olympia is just, it still is where they light the flame, which you'll see in a minute at the Temple of Hera. This is actually called Philippion. When I did some research, this, there's different sections of Olympia that are devoted to different things. This is one picture that I found amongst some of my research. Well, we took the picture, but then there was the Temple of Zeus. This is probably the most significant thing. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site because of Temple of Zeus. Apparently, the statue of Zeus was, how high was it? It was
remember.
huge, and it was made out of marble and gold, and it was destroyed. The temple itself was similar to, it was the same size as the Parthenon.
Oh, was that big?
Yeah, and they said it was such a shame that they destroyed this incredible statue of Zeus. Okay, I'm going to turn off my phone. Sorry. Anyway, so go ahead.
But it is one of the seven. One of the
It was considered one of the 7
Ancient.
antiquities of the ancient world. 7 wonders of the antiquities of the ancient world.
That I do remember.
But it was destroyed. And this, you have to remember, Olympia, the whole Olympics was designed to honor Zeus.
Yeah.
And it was stopped for like 500 years or something, and then in 1936 it was started all over again by the Germans, and the Olympics were reborn. And it still is where the original lighting of the flame
That's where it
occurs.
starts, right?
Yeah. This was cool. They actually used shells because the sea had been a lot closer, and they used shells to.
As the bricks of the
Yeah.
building blocks.
So you think about it; those shells right there are what 2,500 years old. Oh, that's amazing. What history they have. And this is the Temple of Hera. And this is where, you can't see it right here, there's actually a small section where the Olympic flame is actually lit, and then it's carried throughout the world. I mean, I can't wait to see the Olympics next
I
year.
want to see it lit.
Yeah.
And then this is the entrance to the
To the stadium
big stadium. You won't, and when we get
where the
in,
games were held.
and there's no seats. Everybody stood or sat on
Right,
grass.
and he said something like 50,000, 60,000 people, and the judges would be on the right side, and they would, this is where it was, and that was probably one long tunnel.
Yes.
There it is.
Yeah. Starting line, finish
And they
line.
still use this for the shot put?
They do. They did.
No, but just recently,
When,
right? I mean, they still.
when it was in Greece, yes,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah. Wow. So people were running up and down.
Yeah.
So I tried to get this little thing of what the Temple of Zeus would have looked like. They had this little thing. So on the bottom left is what the temple, they think looked like, and there is the statue of Zeus that was considered an archaeological wonder, but the Christians came in and destroyed it. So then we went from there, and right in close to
Olympia.
Olympia was the
Museum.
was the archaeological museum for Olympia, and they had these incredible wall of what would have been the ornaments for the roof.
And what it,
The
exactly.
kind of top part of the roof of the
well, they
Temple
did
of Zeus.
recover all those items, and they had it rather than
Oh
outside.
my God, it was just incredible to see this. I mean, it's just so sad that it was destroyed. This is almost haunting to me.
And in the peak of the building were the most significant figures like Zeus.
Right, and they were on the far left of the roof, the arc of the roof. I don't know which got me more, this one or the Zeus. But this is probably one of the most famous pieces in Greece. And this is Hermes of Praxiteles. This was, there's thoughts that this was done 343 years before Christ. But then there was arguments. There's some people who think because it doesn't stand alone, there's actually a small little
boy that he's holding.
Yeah, and there's a small little piece that connects it, that it may have been Roman, which may have been 200 years AD. But the consensus is that it's Greek. It was so alive. Remember? It was like
Yeah.
you could. It's like it could step down, and it was
Yeah.
holding this little boy. That to me was probably one of the most impressive pieces we saw. I tried looking this up on the internet and I couldn't find anything, but I found this bull amazing. I don't remember what she said, what it says, but
Yeah.
it just
It was
I thought-
significant.
yeah. Not just that. I just
It was
found
neat.
it amazing.
Well, I know what
And
that
then this picture is so cool. Just to what Dave and I we were just saying, we love cruising, and this. I mean, look at me compared to the size of that ship. But she took care of us.
Oh, that's where we had
We had
a soda and internet.
Yeah, we stopped and we got a soda. Oh yeah, remember those two women stopped by us? You got to pay for internet. And we said,
Well,
well,
it
you
probably
should.
cost you
And
a
we said,
coffee or
yeah,
a
you
beer
should
or-
buy a little something.
You
They were
know.
they were so rude. But we walked around this cute little town, and then we learned that this town has only been around for about 10 years.
Because of, with how much was done there, but the town was always there.
But these
As a
stores
as a
and stuff.
fishing. Mhm.
Yeah, but it's really relatively new. So
Gosh, I gotta remember Corfu.
now it is the next day, and we're in Corfu.
Oh,
Corfu,
okay.
Greece.
Don't
This
remember.
was a neat town because of the walls
Mhm.
that surrounded the town, the historic walls, or fortress, or whatever it's
Mhm.
called. Yeah,
Free
this is
tasty.
cute. Dave shot this picture because it says "free tasty" of local Corfu liquor. Oh yeah, we stopped here.
Top of the
This was the
monastery.
monastery that was built in 1200 something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh right, and they had the little area for the monks.
Mm-hmm. Which I got. Yeah.
Yeah, now we remember. Yeah, and we had that beautiful view looking down. Yeah. We stopped at a number of the churches. We stopped and lit candles. I just like this picture because we try around the world as we go to honor our parents and our children. Right?
Yes.
It's nice. It's nice to remember all of them and to honor the memories of our parents, but also to wish our children happiness and joy. So we came back for lunch, and this is one of my favorite areas of the ship, and it's on the
But
rear, the aft is forward, rear. It's on the rear, and we stopped because some of these places the lunches are so expensive, so we stopped, we got lunch, then we went back to town and walked around a little bit.
mm-hmm.
So after we had lunch, we went for a long walk.
We did go for a long walk.
Remember? And
She's
I was
act-
being silly.
She's acting up.
Yeah, I was like, I'm happy. Look at me.
Thing.
So we went for this long walk, and we came back, and then we went to the terminal they had before you got on the boat,
For internet.
and we called Todd. We had to sit on the stairs because it's the only way we could hook in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized it was only 6 in the morning in San Diego,
Oops.
but it was a nice walk.
Yes.
Well, whoops, our last couple days, and the 12th we went to,
Dubrovnik.
yeah, so you can see we sailed quite a bit from Corfu to Dubrovnik, and then so we're still on the Adriatic, and then we went from Dubrovnik on the 13th to Venice, where we got in around 1 in the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
and stayed there to the next day when we flew home, but we really didn't fly home. But that kind of shows you our tour in a nutshell. So, our first day in Croatia. And we got on our tour early in the morning, and we stopped at this little
Overlook.
viewing area where we got to see the city walls of Croatia. We were on a lot of buses. And Dave would sit on one side, I'd sit on the other, and you would constantly hear him clicking his thing, and I would try to keep awake because I didn't sleep at night, but he did. And there it is. That is Dubrovnik. If you look close, you can see the walls that surround the city. Dubrovnik has an incredible history. And in 91 through 95,
When the Serbs
attacked it. They cut off their water, they cut off their electricity. And we just kind of realized how little we knew about Croatia. It's beautiful. Look at that. Isn't it incredible? So we went inside the town square or town area, and this was their water tower that during the recent crisis of 91 through 95, this is how they stored water because the town had been cut off. I mean, they showed us missile attacks, they showed us
shelling.
I mean, and yet, you know, they tried not to destroy a lot of the city, but I think floored Dave and I is how little we knew.
And
I mean, we were involved in the first Gulf War at the time, but how little we knew what was going on here. Yeah, this is the one that was about football and
soccer.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
What do you remember? What he said?
It was something that's good you win, but
that's good that you enjoy soccer. However,
you will still die, or something like that. It was some sort of saying that.
It was wonderful.
Rather profound.
Wonderful.
We could have walked along the top of the walls, but
it would have been,
we were just, yeah, there was space.
The time would have been really tight.
I'm trying to think if we ate something there. I think we got a soda.
No, we really didn't. No.
Yeah, we were going to, but we didn't. I remember how amazed I was with how clear the water is. Look at that.
Right,
we were getting ready to get on the bus to go back to the ship, but look at that. Look how clear the water is.
It was really, really pretty.
Absolutely beautiful.
Next day.
So then the next day, you know, we sailed at night. I think, we had formal night that night in
Oh,
Croatia.
yes.
And then here we arrived in Venice. As Dave had said earlier, we got there about 1 in the afternoon. And we went up to the Lido deck. Oh, it was cold.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was out there because you're actually coming in along the Grand Canal.
And what happens when you do go into Venice, it's pretty heavily industrialized. Then all of a sudden,
It's Venice.
you're in the place that everybody thinks of about Venice.
Yeah. So everybody was out there trying to take pictures, and it was pretty wild. But it was like the ultimate, you know, it's Venice.
Mm-hmm.
And Venice is how many islands? And
Many.
those things in the water are actually like a street marker on a highway that they're marked so that if you break down,
you know exactly.
You know who to call and say, I'm in marker
600, 604.
Get me help. And then as we were going through, getting ready, you know, heading towards our dock, each of these walkways, what would you call them? Canals would have these bridges, and it was just classic Venice. This was our first gondola we saw. Oh, here we're on Murano. So we had taken a tour that afternoon, and we went to a small island called Murano, and that is a Murano that is dedicated to the craftsmen,
glass blowing.
So we saw a small demonstration, and it was actually gorgeous, a little island, and we actually walked along this area here, and there's all these little stores, and we had snuck a sandwich out of the boat. Remember?
Because we didn't know.
Yeah. And from there we went to St. George's Cathedral, or church, or whatever it was. And then back to Venice with a quick trip to St. Mark's Basilica. So we went for a gondola ride, and we learned that the gondolas they cost about $30,000.
No, 30,000 euro, right?
Or something like that.
Very expensive.
And we went for this lovely little Right.
don't
I mean,
sing.
it's
They do
amazing
not
how they
sing.
do it, but he smashed into a couple of things and the walls, and
Yeah, we were
they
probably
don't.
the
Yeah,
last
they don't
one.
sing. No singing. I
Quite
wish
the
they
last
did,
one.
but that was cool. That was cool. Only 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool.
There it is.
Well, we finally made it. So we had like half an hour, just 20
Not
minutes
even
to
that.
spare, and there was a couple from LA who had been there before, and they said, "We know where St. Mark's Basilica is because I really wanted to see this." And it had closed. It was about 5 o'clock at night, and it was, we had the time
Cold.
change, so it was cold. So Dave and I snuck over there, and we got to see St. Mark's Basilica finally. And then that's really the last picture. If you want to explain a little bit about what happened to us when we went home.
Well, help me out too.
So
But we-
actually, we went back to the boat. We had a wonderful tea, and
a sandwich
dinner
and shrimp and blah, blah, blah.
we listened to this wonderful
Oh God, they were
symphony.
good. From
A local
Local.
Venetian group. Oh my God, that was wonderful. And then we went to bed. We got up the next day. We're thinking everything's gonna be cool.
we get to the airport,
We disembarked. Great.
Yeah.
Get to the Venice airport. Go ahead.
and then there's a queue to get into our particular airline. That's
Lufthansa.
I couldn't even tell you how long it was. Very slow. Checking the baggage, blah blah. We get to the
Well, every 45 minutes or a half hour, we're hearing that the plane has been delayed and delayed and delayed. But I finally had gelato.
yes,
I
the
finally
airport.
had
It was
gelato.
delicious. So then that plane. Long story short, that plane was delayed, so we had to go. We had to
Because
fly.
of
Fog.
weather conditions in
In Munich.
Munich.
So we flew from Venice to Munich
Late.
late. We get in there. We run. A huge airport. We run.
Yeah,
try to catch the flight.
They
already
told
left.
us that the plane was still there, right?
So then we run back to the Lufthansa service center where there's about I don't know how many hundreds of people.
And plus
there.
they had a ticket system. We had
We were
about
there
a
about 6
4-hour
hours.
wait, 4 to 6 hours. I don't remember what it was.
They set us up with another flight the following day.
They gave
put
us
us-
they gave us a hotel room.
Yeah, which was actually one of the nicest hotels.
About 45 minutes outside of Munich.
Couldn't even enjoy it. What a place.
Oh my God. And then we get to the hotel and we have another 2-hour wait, an
For
hour
dinner.
wait to get to dinner. We had the cutest room. That was so cute.
It
But
was.
we're trying to hurry up and get to sleep. Get up 5 a.m., take another cab back
Yeah, to the airport.
to the airport.
Then we get on.
Then we have to fly to London.
And then from London to LA, we were really lucky because the flight.
Yeah, that
It
was
happened to be a
nice. That
big,
was
brand, kind of new United big old plane. It was only, God, it was less than half full or more. We got the whole row to ourselves, and
But we couldn't sleep.
because it was daytime
right.
the whole way back.
But
We
what
landed.
a trip. What a trip.
Can we do it again?
Yeah. I love you.
Love you, sweetheart.
Quando fa notte o sole se ne scende